Welcome everyone to my first video in this racing series. I'm your host GT Omega, and today we're going to be playing some Project Cars 2. Now, I know for most of you this is a pretty old game, and honestly it's probably seen its better days, but I really never picked up this game, ever. I played it once at a friend's house for hours on end, and it was super duper fun, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm finally playing it, and I hope that you'll join me along in this journey and in this series. We're essentially going to be playing the entirety of career mode, starting from Formula Rookie and going all the way up. I don't exactly know what I'd like to join in the, I think it's Tier 5 category, but definitely excited to finally jump into this. For this first series that we're going to compete in, we're going to go ahead and choose the US Championship. I honestly really thought about doing the Asia Championship, but it's like, you know what, might as well. If it's on home soil, that's pretty sick. It seems that we've got quite a number of teams to choose from, but I believe for this one I went ahead and I picked the car that kind of reminded me of the old Benetton Formula One cars from way back in the day. And also this reminds me a lot of the Aston Martin. I think it was the DB11? I believe it used to be a GT car. I don't know if it was a GT3 or GT4 car, or GT Endurance for that matter, but I had a picture of it for the longest time in my room, and I absolutely adored it. It was super fun. I think we've got some emails here. Whoa, that's a lot. Looks like this is probably just from like the pack. Oh, here's one from the manager. Wait, this says our Formula Rookie and believes your style is just what we need to get the most from the package. Okay, cool. So they've got high hopes for me. Here's a race engineer. Make sure that everything keeps humming along. You just focus on keeping the pedal to the metal, and together we'll win the championship. All right, so apparently I've already gotten into a team that's highly hopeful that we can be competitive. And again, with Formula Rookie, that definitely should be more or less the case. But again, we'll see exactly how that turns out. But nevertheless, I'm definitely very hopeful that this will happen. And we'll be able to nab the championship. So right now, I had previously raced with the Formula Rookie just to somewhat associate myself with the car, you know, find my bearings here and there-ish, not entirely. And yeah, it definitely did not it definitely did not turn out good. And I didn't race at this track, so this sort of setup, this sort of combination will definitely be new to me, but I'm very hopeful that it should definitely be good. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can skip here to where we're actually on the track and rolling and racing. Almost there.
Standing drill, cold tires, just go steady, the car's going to be slippery until you get some heat into them.
Absolutely, yeah, you can definitely tell they're cold by that bluish hue color that they've got to them. Kind of reminds me of back in the day when Gran Turismo 4, I believe, you could tell whenever tires were cold by the blue mark, and the more that you actually heated them up and started using them correctly, they would gradually turn green, and then from there they would go into like almost like a highlighter green, and then they would go into yellow, orange, and then red. And red, it was definitely when like you've already used the tires, like they're cooked. But in any case, we're just putting some heat into them right now. Right now we've got them already to like a mint green color, but that's still nowhere near their optimized feel and performance. Since this is the outlap, I'm going to go ahead and skip a little bit further. Actually get into the meat and potatoes up here. There we go. Now down to the last corner, and here we go for the straight to finally start our lap for qualifying. As you can tell, I definitely needed more braking force prior to that, and I'm definitely getting very loosey-goosey here and not exactly using the tires correctly. So this is definitely going to be a bad lap. Ooh, speaking of bad laps, I just ate that barrier, so I could definitely say this is a bad lap. Moving ahead here, later on this exact same lap, we at least saved it there, so it wasn't horrible. But this entire lap as a whole is going to be pretty bad, so speaking of which, there it is again. Yep, just ate that entire barrier for lunch, so absolutely delicious and good stuff here. Honestly, I really do look like an AS driver on Gran Turismo Sport with this performance. Why would you ever doubt my genius? But in any case, for whatever reason, even with that crap lap, we're only about 6/10 away from the lead driver, so I'm definitely going to have to mess with the AI setting, because they're just too... This is too easy, honestly. I don't feel like it'll be like that for the rest of this series, but for the time being, it's definitely a little bit too, I would say, too easy going, a little bit too lax for me. It should definitely be at least a little bit more difficult. Definitely, though, it seems like this one is more or less the same. I kind of just went in the opposite direction, and instead of pushing it hard, I just kind of played it safe. I'm gonna go ahead and jump some more. Finally, we're coming down to this other corner, and posted an even worse time because, again, I just played it safe and I did not connect the corners at all like I needed to. Coming down to this first corner now, we're going to go into second gear as previously, and we absolutely nailed that corner. That was much better than previously. I think if I'm seeing that correctly, that was nearly 8/10 grabbed just from that corner alone. We're going to go ahead and see if we can hug this curb here. Probably not the best idea in all seriousness, but hey, it's working for us right now. That corner was more or less the same pace, which I noticed that corner is pretty strong for me. I almost never really mess up on that one. But definitely here, I'm going to have to pull in the reins a little bit and let off. And I'm glad I did. I gained another, I believe that was another 2/10. This corner, though, definitely could see some work. We more or less just stayed on par with what we had. That corner can definitely be taken a lot more aggressively if I have the right line. Right line? Yeah. I think I might have said light line there. My apologies. In any case, we're definitely moving through this thing very well here. And absolutely nailed it on that last corner there for the entry and the exit. Could have been a little bit better, but honestly I'm pretty happy with that. And this lap is smoking compared to that atrocity of lap that we had previously. Our potential is now around a 133.5, which is great. Coming into that corner pretty hot, but again, we managed to save it. And for this corner, we do more or less the same. And for that corner, we absolutely nailed that one as well. And for this one, we gain a little bit on it too. We're almost into the 1 second mark, so we're definitely pushing this car a lot more than we did previously. Unfortunately, however, we are gaining on some back markers here, so not exactly great to see. Again, that corner, not the greatest, honestly. We were catching up a little bit as far as with our time that we lost on that corner. So it could have been worse, but it wasn't great as well. Yeah, and then this guy absolutely just messed my lap up. Trying to go around him, but again, he just didn't want to move or anything. So that was the consequence there, unfortunately. Absolutely messed up the lap and then got so distracted that I didn't even pay attention. And with that, we get a, what was that, a 1:32.76. So really a good time there. Again, still not the best, as you could tell. I mean, honestly, we could probably bring that down to a 1:31, but at this point, I'm almost 3.5 seconds up on second place. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stare down my competition like an absolute Sigma male. Please don't kill me for using that joke. Honestly, it's just a poop joke. But in any case, so far everything's going relatively well here. And we're gonna actually cut now to the qualifying session. Okay, so here we are in the qualifying session. Looks like there are already some other cars going out. But again, because this is an outlap, we should be able to pass them with relative ease. And I'm actually going to skip a bit more so we can actually view some better footage here. So again, as you can tell, I'm really pushing this car around some of these corners, and our potential has moved down now to a 1:32.3, which I reckon we can probably actually get it down even lower than that. Again, because this car is so new to me and I'm not used to it, our qualifying pace is probably going to match our race pace.
Let's build up the speed and get on it. Good luck.
Interesting. But thank you for the kind words there, race engineer. Speaking of which, he doesn't have a name. We're just gonna call him Jeff. Jeff, the race engineer. Or actually, I might want to call him Frank. As most of you probably know, the late and great Sir Frank Williams has unfortunately passed away finally, and yeah, all of F1 is definitely hurting, and definitely sad to see him finally be away from the sport, but he is definitely in a better place, and I hope he is flying high and racing fast. And yeah, I hope Claire and the rest of his family is doing okay, and they have enough support, and they're, you know, and I just hope that they're okay through the rest of, you know, this year. In any case, though, we're going to get back to the racing here. And we are definitely gaining on the person in front of us. I don't know what team this is. Definitely screwed up there. Oh look, we even caught the cone. Interesting stuff. Finally, I think it went away. As you can tell, definitely in some of these corners I was a little bit, how should we say this, eager to overtake some of these drivers. But again, I kind of just stayed true to myself and, you know, tried not to get in the way too much here. You know, of myself and achieving a good lap. And homie almost tries to dive bomb and go through, but I said, no, that's not going to happen today, sir. And even though that lap was pretty subpar and I literally just ate the barrier for the 12th time again, we're still about a second and an attempt, actually close to 2 tenths, up on our competition, so minimum. So at this point, yeah, definitely thinking that the AI probably needs to be boosted to a higher difficulty. if it's possible. I'm pretty sure it is. It probably has me like somewhere around like mid-tier driver or something like that. So I think we could definitely boost it up quite a bit more. In any case, though, this lap definitely not memorable. Let's go ahead and let's skip a little further. We're finally on the straights here. Front of the lap. Definitely going quite a bit better here. Of course I hit the barrier, so again that doesn't help. I told you, that corner for whatever reason it deludes me, man. It's crazy. I have no idea too why I do the things I do on that lap. But nevertheless, we'll keep going. I'm not on that corner. Excuse me. As you can see at this point though, our potential has moved down to a 132.3. So we are definitely in prime position, I would say, to capitalize on that time here. Not entirely, but pretty close. Definitely doing a lot better than some of these other laps. We're already about a second up, and unfortunately, my lap is actually going to be somewhat sabotaged by my teammate here, who just refuses to get out of my way. But luckily I will catch a little bit of a tow from him, and we will now move into the 133. Top end of it, but again, it's still 133. Coming into this first corner again, absolutely binned it as my teammate goes around me. That was pretty funny. But, yeah, passes on the inside. Very good stuff. I finally did not mess up that corner there, so good stuff. And we are catching up to him in a hurry. We're going to go ahead and give him a braking competition here, see if he's up for it. He is up for it, wow, and he went deep into that turn too. I would have probably stopped a little bit closer, but hey, tell you what, man, some people, they really like to run it close. That one was definitely a better lap around that corner. And as you can tell, in some of these corners, I am definitely hanging the revs, and that's not actually by like design, that's not by purpose. As far as I can remember, the last time you'll actually heard from me on my equipment, I was using a G29. I have since then upgraded, mainly because unfortunately my wheel has seen better days, and it's not performing the same as it once did, and it's just very noisy and clunky. The new wheel I got is the Thrustmaster T300 RS, and I have the Sparkle wheel attached to it, and it looks beautiful, and I feel like I'm definitely more connected to my games, and honestly just to the wheel, like to the steering input, it feels so much better. And in addition to that, I have a THA 8A shifter from Thrustmaster, and while it doesn't have the same, sort of resistance in the middle like when you're actually shifting gears like in a real car, it definitely is for a good reason. So I believe they use a Hall effect sensor inside of that shifter, and because of that, it has less moving parts, and less moving parts means better reliability. So it's definitely something that's supposed to last you years and years, and I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it, and I'm just super happy with it so far. As you can see here, again, not a great lap, but there's only about 5 minutes into this session, so I'm going to go ahead and skip just a little bit more. Again, that was a better lap than the previous one, but it still wasn't anywhere near what my potential says it is, which is now to 132.25. To my knowledge, I believe the fastest lap around here is like a 128 or 127, so you know, having a potential around the 4-second mark is not too bad. I would rather it be closer, but again, it is what it is, and not exactly too saddened by that. Again, I just watch my competition because at this point it's still not even worth qualifying because I'm 2 seconds ahead of everyone. I'll go ahead and I'll skip a little bit more here. And unfortunately for this first race, this was actually a wash. If I skip forward, you can actually see I had to serve a drive-through penalty, and because of that, I actually finished this race fourth. So definitely not a good race at all because of that drive-through penalty. I tell you what, because it's only 4 laps, it absolutely kills any hope and chance and shot that you've got at winning. But in any case, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start this again. And not a great start there, but hey, at least we didn't get a drive-through penalty for it, so we're off and on with the race. Coming around the first corner, you can see we already have a pretty sizable advantage coming into this first turn. Gonna go ahead and shift it into second. I could have probably kept it in third, but I didn't really want to. Again, because the rest of this track typically revolves around third gear, and only on some of these straights can get, you know, close to fourth. Again, took that corner pretty nicely. Definitely for that one was a little bit slow, but nevertheless we're already still, again, 2.5 seconds up on our closest rival. So doing good stuff there.
You're leading by 3 seconds over second place. That's great. Keep pushing. Keep the gap.
Can do, race engineer. Absolutely. Again, right there, not the greatest turn in for that corner. Probably should definitely be a little more.
That's a very strong first lap. Nice one.
Yeah, not bad, especially compared to the competition. But in any case, yeah, definitely could push a lot harder with this car, and definitely, you know, give it some more oomph. For that first corner, not bad and not great, I would say. But for that exit on that second corner, definitely a lot better. Gonna eat the barrier here a little bit, so not great stuff, honestly. Through this corner, we definitely push it hard, and we make up, I would say, a little bit of that time. Coming now to the fourth corner. It was not bad, but again, not horrible. If anything, it was probably still about another 10th off, so I could be doing better, but for this corner, we absolutely made up the time that we had lost, so gained the 10th back and then maybe a little bit. Coming into this corner, I definitely cut that corner pretty hard there. You can see I was pretty much right up on that curb, and I'm honestly surprised that I didn't get a warning from the stewards telling me that I had exceeded track violations, or were getting close to exceeding track violations. Also, one thing I did want to point out is I apologize greatly for the mess going on with the choppy gameplay. as I eat the barrier for the 4 millionth time again this race. I decided to play this on a 4K TV and also record at the same time with the same GPU, which, mind you, is not the quickest thing ever in the world. I know, thanks graphics card shortage. But yeah, definitely a big mistake. And I probably should have had a separate graphics card to record it with. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and we'll probably get that figured out sometime in the future. But for now, this is how it is. As you can see, actually, in the top left-hand corner, my metrics are really good. I'll go ahead and I'll turn that off for the next video so it's not so annoying. But right there, a flying lap, a cracker of a lap, so we're going to keep this going.
Great stuff. Fastest lap of the race. Just one more lap now, one more to go. Take the win. Come on, you can do it.
We absolutely can. At this point, we're about to bury our competition with 6 feet and the coffin all in one go, because we're about 10 or so seconds up on them. You can tell here I was definitely pushing on this lap, trying to wring out the most that I could in this car. And I believe on this lap, did we? I want to say that I almost had it, yeah, but right there I believe that corner was actually what took me away from the quickest lap. And this one right here too. Again, you know, I was like, hey, I've already got the quickest lap.
If you've got any more pace up your sleeve, now is the time to use it. Push as hard as you can.
I might as well, you know, just play it safe. And I kind of didn't and kind of didn't, because on this one, you can see here, I definitely downshifted a lot quicker than I had previously been doing, but again, didn't really help. But hey, with that, we won the first race of the season.
Awesome driving. That's your first win. Hopefully we'll see plenty more of those in the future.
And we'll definitely keep going from here. So as you can see, this was not even a fair competition. I was 3.1 seconds on virtually every single lap, and then on top of that, it was even worse. When you actually look into the grand scheme of things. So, already a win in the podium, so I am totally happy with that. And oh, looks like we've got some new emails. It's from the manager and the engineer. Great win, it was definitely well deserved. And I would make a great qualifying run. You were great out there. Not many drivers could match that time. True as far as the career, but I definitely think that some drivers who will probably either watch this video or the guys that I race with will definitely be able to catch some sort of a great time like this. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. Again, this was more of a semi sort of edited video. I hope you all enjoyed it nevertheless, and I'll try and do a little bit better with some of the things that we go forward with in the future as far as for editing and things like that, and definitely hope to bring out some better content. But in any case, if you like what you saw here, please drop a like on the video. That would definitely help me out with the metrics and would just help us reach more people. And if you liked it so much that you'd like to be a subscriber, please consider subscribing. But until then, I hope to see you all in the next video. I hope you enjoy the drive and have fun out there and continue racing to be the best version of yourself you could possibly be. As always, upwards and onwards, Omega GT.